We're over on the pre-grid with Teddy Pritchard-Williams as he gets his suit on ahead of this race. Teddy, some really good heats, good racing by you, and then a bit of bad luck in the pre-final. What happened?
Just a bit of a coming together in the last corner. Two crashed in front. We just kind of went over the back and into the barrier. So it makes the championship hard and it makes this race hard, but can't go backwards, can we? So.
Yeah, and I heard you're quite the golfer as well. From my sources, you reckon your race will be as good as your golf?
I hope it's better. I do hope it's better. But yeah, we'll see how we get on. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, let's go.
Best of luck to you, Teddy. We'll catch up with you later. We'll just head down the grid. I also want to talk to Jack Lilly, who was involved in that incident with Teddy earlier on in the pre-final. Jack, sorry to ambush you here. We saw you had a bit of a issue. You had to pull in, technical flag. What happened?
Yeah, just going through in the last corner, we had a bit of an incident. I went for a clean move on someone, and someone just decided to follow through on me going over the back and rip the exhaust. So I had to come in for the technical. So obviously we're starting at the back, so I want to come forward as much as possible. And
so, like you said, you're starting further at the back. In your opinion, do you reckon the overtakes are going to be harder, or do you reckon it's just easy to get the moves done?
I'd say it's going to be a bit more challenging to make the moves done, as there is a lot more karts, and usually in the midfield everyone decides to white line and all that, so it's just trying to get through the pack.
Best of luck to you, Jack. We'll also go over to speak to Tristan Rennie. Tristan, not a driver we've caught up with so far in this championship. So with the Craft Motorsport team. Tristan, can we talk to you really quickly? You're a local driver to this track. Do you reckon you know the track to race on better than some of your competitors?
Definitely. We've practiced here quite a few times now. Not as much as you'd think. You know, we've only been here a few times, even though on a new track, but yeah, definitely a few more times than the other drivers, yeah.
And obviously you've got your teammate Lewis Gilbert up at the front with you. Have you and Lewis been working together this weekend, or have you been sharing any information?
Yeah, it definitely helps having him, because we bounce off of the data, and he knows the track as well, just as well as I do, so it's really good and improving on getting faster. So.
Great to hear from you, Tristan. Have a good race. We'll also go over to Cian Geraghty. We spoke to Cian last week at the Miami round, where he was running in his privateer team with his dad. Cian, quick turnaround between Miami and Rotax this week for you. I believe you missed the Friday. What's this weekend been like?
It's been a bit of a struggle because I had GCSEs on Friday, so it's been a bit of a rush to get here, but yeah, I think we've done not too bad considering we've not been able to do any testing at the track before this race. So straight in yesterday with one practice before quali.
And Tom, if we look down at Cian's kart, we've got a bit of dirt on one of the front tyres there. Cian, is that from some grass tracking or coming into the pits? How have you managed that?
That was just coming into the pits.
Great to hear from you then, Cian. Very best of luck to you. Head up further to the front of the grid. We've got Kai Hunter here. Kai may be a little bit out of position compared to what he would usually be like. Hi, Kai.
Hi, Nicole.
What's been going on, Kai, today?
Not a lot, actually. It's been pretty average. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully we'll fix it for the final.
I asked a similar question last week at X30 to Noah Wolf, who said he was having an average weekend. You know, average for you is probably really good for somebody else. What does it look like for you?
Yeah, I like to win, so if I'm not winning, then I'm not doing the greatest. So yeah, I think sixth position in the championship terms is not actually that bad, but where I want to be is I want to win. So yeah.
Good luck then, Kai. Also want to catch up with one of our biggest movers this weekend, which is Guy Cunnington. Guy, not the best qualifying, but we've seen some absolute moves by you this weekend. You're going up an average of 10 to 15 positions in each heat, and then a fantastic pre-final. Tell us about it.
Yeah, an issue in quali. That made my weekend interesting, but it's been quite fun. So yeah, we'll try and move forward a few more, and I'll be quite happy with that. So.
We'll watch you move forward then, Guy. Very best of luck to you. Bell has gone now. Time to clear the grid. Last time this weekend, it will be the senior Rotax. Back to you, Andrew.
Thank you very much, Nicole. And yeah, another eagerly anticipated race here at Larkhall. The second final of the year for the senior Rotax category in the Wera Tools British Kart Championships. And I recommend to the battle that we saw in the pre-final. I'd say, looking back to last year's results, can Lewis Gilbert repeat the victory that he had here well, I say 12 months ago, but the last time that the Rotax drivers visited Larkhall? Macaulay Bishop, of course, won the junior race in that year. We're going to get ready for it, of course. It is the senior Rotax final next. Let's blast through this grid of 34 drivers. Macaulay Bishop and Joshua Graham on the front row of the grid. Callum Bradshaw and Lewis Gilbert start on row number 2. Guy Cunnington and Kai Hunter start on row 3 ahead of Tristan Rennie and Brandon Klein Nagelvoort. Archie Walker and Cian Geraghty start on row 5 ahead of Caden McQueen and Jamie Perilli. Archie Buttle and Pearson Bullock Carter start on row 7 ahead of Gustav Uzkovs and Stephen Napier. Louis Weaver and Rachel Robertson start on row 9, completing the top 20 on row 10 are Ewan Sharman and Neo Clark, who raced through from the repechage. James Lowther and Alex Duncan start on row 11. Jack Collins and David Mitchell on row 12. Deacon Russell and Sam Baker on row number 13. Ahead of Reg Hayward and John Brown on row 14. Liam Thomas and Alex Moody complete the top 30 on row 15. Ahead of the drivers who had problems in the pre-final. Jack Lilly and Reece Bailey on row 16. Angus Scrivener and Teddy Pritchard Williams, the winner here 2 weeks ago, for the club round, start at the back, row 17, in a 34 kart field. We have had some stunning races so far this year in senior Rotax in the Wera Tools British Kart Championships. What is Larkhall going to give us? It's going to give us an extra formation lap. That's what it's going to give us straight away. There we go. And a little spin as well for Liam Thomas. I think we've got 2 karts not showing us not out there. James Lowther and Sam Baker. Now that is just information in the box here. It could, that's why. That looks to be. Is that the number 31 of Sam Baker out of this race? I think it is. So drama before we've even begun here. For Sam Baker's done great things to get through into this final. 28 of them automatically qualified through. Another 6 through from the repechage. We then, of course, had the pre-final that set the grid for this final. Once again, it'll be 65 championship points on offer by my very unofficial calculations that will become a bit more official in a moment once data starts coming through from timing. Callum Bradshaw is still your championship leader. Won the final, of course, last time out at PF International. Starts this one on the 3rd row of the grid. Interesting as well that Bishop has chosen. He's gone for the inside line. He's had some very good race starts and had experience, of course, starting from that inside line so far this weekend in the heats. Are we ready to go then for the final? 15 minutes of pulsating action here at Larkhall are underway. Good start for Bishop from pole position. They file through towards turn 3 for the first time, flat out. Bradshaw's immediately up to 2nd place. As we heard from Jack Lilly on the grid, immediately everyone in the midfield, white line and keeping it on the inside. There's trouble there for, I think that's the number 27 of Liam Thomas, having problems getting going once more. So I'm have issues on that false start the first time around, but it is Macaulay Bishop who's got the race lead. Bishop, who went toe-to-toe with Callum Bradshaw. There's a couple of karts off towards the back of the field. I think one of them is the number 12 of Jack Collins for Pro Train. He's got through to the final here, but that's not the start he would have wanted. Ewan Sharman's on the attack as well for Racing Perfection there in the red and white. Number 42, the Birrell Arch chassis. But end of lap number 1, it's Bishop, Bradshaw, Gilbert, Graham, Cunnington, Hunter, Rennie, McQueen, Walker and Klein Nagelvoort. Your top 10 on the move there. Looks to be one of the Jack's drivers. I think it might have been Jamie Perilli for 12th place. As there, out of the race as well as Liam Thomas for GMS. End of the weekend, not the way he would have wanted it to finish. And look at this train. Bishop is defending. wants to keep this affair tight. Bradshaw's looking down the inside into the chicane. Bishop goes across the grass. Bradshaw takes the lead. Gilbert through into second place. I think there was a little wave there. I don't think Callum Bradshaw was too happy about that one. I think yes, Joshua Graham also got through on Bishop, through into third place. Well, that was a move and a half. That was two drivers not wanting to give an inch. Through towards turn 5 then. Down the inside, here goes Lewis Gilbert. Lewis Gilbert takes the lead of the race. Well, he won this race last year. It was round 3 of the 2023 championship, on his way to finishing 4th last year in senior Rotax. He has been absolutely rapid so far this week as Lewis Gilbert. And now here he is taking on the best of British. Bradshaw's back down the inside, but they've gone deep. Through comes Graham. Through comes Joshua Graham. What a great reading of the scenario there by Joshua Graham for KR Sport. And he's got a bit of a gap now. Clear of the rest of the field. Bradshaw's second. Kai Hunter's up into third place. Guy Cunnington has also worked his way up. He's there in 4th. Where has Gilbert ended up? I think he's ended up in about 6th place. He's behind Caden McQueen. McQueen, who had an awful start to the weekend, was facing the wrong way in turn number 6 in his first heat of the day. Has fought back brilliantly. Doors slightly open there for Bishop. Oh, as Caden McQueen's off and on the grass. And just as we say it was all going well, it's now going backwards again. Brandon Klein-Nagelvort's on the grass. Tristan Rennie's in a bit of bother as well. My, oh my, this is, well, it's exactly what we were expected in a way for senior Rotax here today. What, I'll tell you what we didn't expect. Joshua Graham to be 1.7 seconds clear of the rest of the field at the end of lap number 4. Callum Bradshaw's backed them up again. It's worked. Hunter's back down the inside of Cunnington for third place. Gilbert's going to try and get his way through past Bishop once more for a position. But we saw Callum Bradshaw do this in the pre-final. Have a lap or so of defending quite hard to kind of back the pack up and then hit the gas pedal at the moment where they're all fighting amongst themselves. It worked in the pre-final. It's worked again here. The trouble is now the former world champ has got 1.8 seconds in arrears to find up to Joshua Graham at the front of the field. Joshua Graham, who had, by his lofty standards, not a great round at PF International, was 10th in the final at round number 1. 6th yesterday across the course of the heats, has lit it up here today for KR Sports. Race feels like it's getting into a bit more of a rhythm now. There's a +5 second penalty to report on. It's Angus Scrivener. He's in 22nd place. That's one of the drivers who had problems in the pre-final. I think Jack Lilly, I just saw out of my commentary box window, is also in a spot of bother, running slowly from turn number 6 to turn number 7. He's almost good. I think he's going to be in the pits here. Is Jack Lilly. No, he's going to go around again. He's about 2 corners ahead of the race leader. 10 minutes to go then. What is the pace like for Joshua Graham? This is a tough circuit to keep that rhythm, especially at the end of a long weekend. It's physical out there. It's 2 seconds. He's pulling away from Bradshaw. 48.86 for Joshua Graham last time around. 49.04 for Callum Bradshaw, who's now got about 4 tenths over Kai Hunter and the rest. Well, Joshua Graham, who moved to KR Sport at the start of this season, facilitating his move up into senior Rotax from juniors last year. This would be quite a story for him to take this round win. He was 5th a couple of weeks ago in the club round. Sweeping down again. What have the rest of them got? What's Bradshaw, Hunter, Cunnington and Gilbert got in the second half of this race? Not quite in the second half of this race yet. Again, another 2 tenths for Joshua Graham. Another new fastest lap of the race. They cannot deal with Graham's pace right now. This is a magnificent run for the driver who was 3rd last year in the Junior Rotax Championship. 8 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Who's making good progress? I tell you who's making good progress. Teddy Pritchard-Williams is throwing everything at this. Super Ted is charging through. 18 spots right now is the net gain for the Welshman. and he's up to 16th place. There's a technical flag going out. It's the number 98. It's the end of the weekend for Alex Moody, unfortunately. Alex Duncan has also received a 5-second... Another new fastest. Where is this pace coming from Joshua Graham? This is absolutely magnificent from Joshua Graham and KR Sport. They are taking the senior Rotax field, which has been close all year. And as I say, of course, Bradshaw had the clean sweep from... there's the problem for Alex Moody. Front bumper has... detached itself and gone for its holidays here in Scotland in the sunshine. That is why the technical flag has been out for the number 98. I say the last time out at PF International, it was close. Yes, it was Bradshaw getting himself to the front every single race. Through the heats, through the pre-final and the final, was the only driver through all of the Rotax categories with a perfect score. But this is something else from Joshua Graham. Pounding in these laps. 48.5 that time around. That is serious pace at the end of a long weekend. His lead is now 2.5 seconds. You see by the body language of Callum Bradshaw's number 99, he's pushing, he's giving everything. Kai Hunter's going with him as well. I think that's got to be the biggest hope now for Bradshaw and Hunter, that they can work together. Just hope that maybe Graham has pushed a little bit too hard on his tyres in the first half of this race. They start to see Graham fading a bit in the second half of this race, but that's just not happening right now. It's the first time in a while he's not set a new fastest lap of the race, but it was a 48.6. It was another 1/10.5 quicker than both Bradshaw and Hunter last time around. Change for 12th place to report. Pearson Bullock Carter has got past Jamie Perilli for that position. Teddy Pritchard-Williams is now into the top 15. As this race goes on, it's interesting for Bradshaw and Hunter as well. I mean, if in Kai Hunter's mind, surely he's got to be thinking championship. Did not have a good round at PF International. Hasn't used all of his drop scores, of course, at this stage of the season, but there were scores in there that we would hope by the end of this championship would be disregarded. He needs a solid score here this weekend. He needs to get back on track. Of course, he'd like more than third place, but what he doesn't want is an incident with Callum Bradshaw, with the championship leader, that would put him again outside of the top 15, out of the race. That looks like Reg Hayward. Yes, it is, in the number 73. A tough weekend. Oh, now! Plus 5 second penalty for Kart's number 99. Callum Bradshaw has got a penalty. That has just appeared on my timing screen in the commentary box at 15:12. That changes things big time now. Not just in this race, but in the championship. The championship leader has now got to get down the road. Kai Hunter is effectively sat in a net second place right now. At the moment, 5 seconds would put Bradshaw back into around 11th place. So back around Jamie Perilli and Pearson Bullock Carter. Not 100% sure on what the 5 second penalty is for, so we won't speculate. But those are the facts right now. There's also a plus 5 second penalty for the number 9. That's Pearson Bullock Carter. 4.5 minutes remaining. Well, Joshua Graham is in a really comfortable position now. Not only has he got a 3.3 second lead, but the driver who can beat him in this race right now is stuck up behind another driver with a penalty. A very strong driver in Callum Bradshaw, but nonetheless, right now, Kai Hunter can't do anything about catching back up to Joshua Graham, and it would be such a risky move to try and get past Bradshaw now. We talk about the risk versus the reward, the potential return for Kai Hunter right now. I don't think it's worth going for this move. Bradshaw wants to get down the road anyway. With that 5 second penalty, he wants to stretch out ahead of as many drivers in this field as possible. 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in this one. Another position for Teddy Pritchard-Williams is up 20 spots now into 14th. Apologies for a little glitch on the timing tower there. James Lowther is not in the lead of the race and not falling down the order. He's down in around 20th position. There have been a couple of transponder issues today on the number 8, so we'll just note that one, of course, so it doesn't confuse us all. 3¼ minutes to go. Here's a good battle. This is it's the 6th place on the road battle right now. Lewis Gilbert, Archie Walker, Archie Buttle, Caden McQueen, Cian Geraghty. Right now, all of these drivers are within range of being able to take advantage of Callum Bradshaw's penalty. I'm not sure whether they'll be aware of that at this moment, as going through into turn 6 now. Has Hunter made the move? Yes, Kai Hunter's made the move. It's off of our screens. Has got past Callum Bradshaw for 2nd place on the road now. Doesn't change things for Kai Hunter in terms of what championship points he was getting, because he was getting that 2nd place anyway, virtue of Bradshaw's penalty. But Hunter will now be providing a bit of a tow, perhaps for Callum Bradshaw. Out is Jack Lilly. Really tough day for Jack Lilly, but I think he can take solace from the fact that his race pace, when it was going well this weekend, was very, very good indeed. A bit further forward. Oh, it's through past Guy Cunnington has gone Macaulay Bishop, so that's for 4th place. Lewis Gilbert having to defend really hard here. I don't think this is the kind of race that that Archie Walker would have expected when he woke up this morning and had pole position for the pre-final. He's still scoring a good haul of championship points right now. What's that gap looking like at the front of the field? It's still going up. This is relentless from Joshua Graham. 4.6 seconds now clear of the rest of the field. Lewis Gilbert has just received a warning flag for driving standards. Bishop and Guy Cunnington, what do they do over the course of the next minute and 20 plus 1 lap? What's their pace like? Fairly even compared to Kai Hunter and Callum Bradshaw. That effectively is your fight for the final spot on the podium, of course, with the +5 for Bradshaw. There was another +5 second penalty for a different driver, number 93. That's Brandon Klein Nagelvort, who's faded a bit in this one. It's down to 15th place on the road. There's your race leader, Joshua Graham, who must be having the time of his life out there. For the pleasure of watching this young man drive for a good number of years, this is one of the best performances I think I've ever seen from Joshua Graham. And that's a quite lofty list of drives. Really does put him back in the picture. As we head to Warden Law next, which I think I'm right in saying is where another one of his spectacular drives when he was with Argenti, who came from last year when he was in juniors. 2 more laps then. Another +5 second penalty coming up on the board. It's the number 21 this time. It's Deacon Russell. And just to confirm, if you're just joining us, quite a few penalties in this race. But most importantly, at 12 minutes past 3, the number 99, Callum Bradshaw, at the moment is not going to keep hold of that 3rd place on the podium right now. Because Macaulay Bishop, Guy Cunnington, Lewis Gilbert, and still a couple of others as well are still in range. It's not going to be too bad a drop for Bradshaw. He's done exactly what he needed to do from the championship perspective. It's just kept going, not battle too hard for track positions. It's all about time on the road for him right now. We'll check it through as we're going on to the final lap. Joshua Graham has dominated this race. Great reading of the battle at the very front when Bradshaw and Gilbert went and had a bit of a discussion over 1st place. Great, that's when Graham got through, and he has just unleashed a world of fury in terms of pace on the rest of this field. Right now, Bradshaw, by the way, would slip down to 7th place. No, just ahead of Caden McQueen. He'd slip down to 6th place. That's not going to bother Joshua Graham, who's going to take his first victory of the season. Move to KR Sport. They have delivered the package for him today to win at Larkhall. He takes victory here in round 2 of the senior Rotax class for the Wera Tools British Kart Championships. with a win by 5.6 seconds. A gargantuan gap in karting terms over reigning champion Kai Hunter. Kai Hunter's title defence is back on track, I'd say, with that result. And his best race of the weekend, he leaves to the last. He'll be happy with that. Third on the road for Callum Bradshaw, but a penalty earlier in the race means it's Macaulay Bishop who'll be on the podium. Guy Cunnington can be pretty pleased, I think, with things. The return of fourth place once penalties are applied after his very tough time qualifying at the start of the day. Lewis Gilbert was next up, sixth on the road. Caden McQueen also received a 5-second penalty right at the end there, just came in on our notifications on the last lap. So Caden McQueen will slip down as well. Archie Walker 8th on the road. Pearson Bullock Carter 9th. 10th for Archie Buttle. Cian Geraghty 11th place. Jamie Perilli in 12th. What a drive from Teddy Pritchard-Williams. It's a shame we couldn't have him at the front of the field for that race, because I think he would have been a factor. But 21 positions gained for Teddy Pritchard-Williams in that one. Ewan Charman 14th. Brandon Klein-Nagelvort 15th. Another driver with a plus 5-second penalty to be applied. Angus Scrivener 16th ahead of Gustav Urzakovs. Great, another driver. There's been quite a few drivers this weekend who've had GCSEs and school exams who've had disrupted weekends from a racing perspective. Gustav was up one of them, raced through from the repechage, having had not even a run in qualifying to start this weekend. No practice at all, straight into race conditions. Was 17th in that final. James Lowther 18th ahead of Louis Weaver and Rachel Robertson in the top 20 as well. Deacon Russell, Stephen Napier, Rhys Bailey, John Brown, all in the top 25, completed by Jack Collins. Neo Clark, David Mitchell, Alex Duncan, Jack Lilly, and Reg Hayward in the top 30. We're into the retirements now. Lilly and Hayward both didn't see the checkered flag. Alex Moody, Tristan Rennie, Sam Baker, and Liam Thomas, unfortunately, DNF'd in that one. But, well, the reactions of the drivers, cool, calm and collected for them. But it's good to see there. Good sportsmanship from Guy Cunnington there. Giving a big hug to Joshua Graham on that performance. That was a performance and a half. I did not expect that. Full credit to Joshua Graham and what he's just done there. Little chat between Kai Hunter and Macaulay Bishop. Good to see them on good terms, discussing how their finals went. They'll both be on the podium, at least provisionally, with the penalty for Bradshaw. Let's have a look at some of the highlights then from that senior Rotax final. Another chapter in the books of this remarkable season. Starts the race, Macaulay Bishop from pole position with Joshua Graham alongside on that front row. It's advantage Bishop, as you'd expect from that inside column of the grid. Bradshaw through as well into P2, going through the first couple of corners and into turn number 6. We wondered, would there be things between Bishop and Bradshaw? They had a really good battle last time out at PF International in round number 1. Lewis Gilbert there as well. That was a flashpoint. That may have been what the plus 5-second penalty was for. I can't confirm that, the information that we've got here in the box. But what we do know is, of course, that Bradshaw did get a 5-second penalty that would change the course of his race. It would shuffle Bishop back a bit. It would give the opportunity for Lewis Gilbert to take the lead of the race, trying to do 2 final wins in a row, of course, one here at Larkhall in 2023. But this was the key moment for Joshua Graham. Bradshaw with a big one down the inside. And, yeah, they just got a bit tight to the early part of the apex there, both Bradshaw and Gilbert. Graham stepped through and then just went into what felt like rocket mode and disappeared off the front of the pack. Bradshaw was keeping it tight in there. That was Caden McQueen running wide. Very low moment there for Brandon Klein-Nagelvort and Tristan Rennie. Both returned to the circuit. For Rennie, it would be a run through. Can't quite see where he was in the result, apologies. But a good weekend for Tristan Rennie in terms of race pace. The race would continue. The Craft Motorsport drivers didn't quite have, in the longer form of the race, that pace we were expecting. Joshua Graham did, though, taking a win. One of the biggest margins I think we've seen so far in any category for this year's Wera Tools British Kart Championships, taking it by 5.6 seconds ahead of Kai Hunter. Macaulay Bishop will be, at least provisionally, classified 3rd. Well, there we go. We'll see Senior Rotax next at Warden Law. That's going to be a very, very key round and enjoyable to watch on the weekend of the 28th to the 30th of June. Do hope you can join us there. That'll be event 5 for the Wera Tools British Kart Championships. We do, of course, have one race to go this weekend, and this promises to be a bit of a belter as well. Junior Rotax will culminate things here at Larkhall for event 3, the Wera Tools British Kart Championships. Let's head down to the pre-grid for the last time today, down to Nicole Sutherland.
5.66 second win here by Joshua Graham. Josh, what a way to win a British Kart Championships final.
Yeah, it was a very tricky start. I was on the outside, so I dropped back to 4th or 5th or something. But after that, I made my way to the front and pulled a big gap, and every lap was consistent. I was doing the same lap times every lap, and yeah, it paid off.
Yeah, paid off 100%. And who have you got to thank for this weekend?
All of Chaos Sport, Ash, Martin, Chris Simpson, my dad, obviously. Without him, I wouldn't be here. I'd like to dedicate the win to my nan, who passed away very recently. Thank you.
How are you going to celebrate, Josh?
Well, I've got an 8-hour car journey home, so I'll be asleep most of it. But yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, have a good nap and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We'll head back over to the grid shortly. Quick word from Andrew, and I'll see you in a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, please. We have got the results for Senior and Junior Rotax. We will start, of course, with the Senior Rotax podium. Please welcome, first of all, finishing in 3rd place today in Senior Rotax, the current no-plate holder for Dan Holland Racing, Macaulay Bishop. In 2nd place today in Senior Rotax, please welcome driver number 1 for Hunter Motorsports, Kai Hunter. And your winner for Senior Rotax here today, please welcome driver number 78 for KR Sports, Joshua Graham.
Trevor Graham.
And the winning mechanic for Senior Rotax today, please welcome Trevor Graham. Yeah.
Smile. So Josh on his own, please. That's a happy faces. Bigger. Well done.
One final time, ladies and gentlemen, you need top 3 in Senior Rotax.